Propaganda! Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Could this be looked at as propaganda? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Put away those pitchforks. Though this could be considered propaganda. It gives you this sense of awesomeness, like you're proud to be an American. As far as, let's just say, motivational pieces go, I think it succeeds. Don't you just want to jump out of a plane now for your country? I know I do. The term is usually seen as derogatory because of its history and its use, and rightfully so. Let's talk about Japanese propaganda and American propaganda in World War II. You have to keep your country on your side, and you have to keep your country despising the other side. What better way to do that than with USDA choice all-natural, non-GMO, 100% prime cut propaganda? Exhibit A, the enemy. What better way to convince your side that the enemy is evil by portraying them as evil? As we know by now, dehumanizing your enemy is the easiest motivation to fight them. This one is simple, evil Japanese. Same for this one. The Japanese are depicted as evil, inhuman beasts that burn down villages and raped women. While the latter isn't completely far from the truth, it of course generalizes and is very hyperbolic, though that's essentially the idea. As said before, dehumanizing your enemy. Exhibit B, racism, which, as we are probably aware, littered anti-Japanese propaganda at the time. The Japanese are usually depicted with large teeth, and their English is usually mocked. Very, very hyperbolic. Exhibit A1, anti-American propaganda by the Japanese. As far as posters go, there actually isn't that much. Mr. David Venable pointed out something, that being that the Japanese are more obsessed with honor and themselves than the enemy. There are still a few posters though. More of these are just motivation and self-loving. This one depicts Winston Churchill and FDR eating bones. Lastly, we have cartoons. Now, Japan has made a few anti-American cartoons, and they are as weird as you'd guess. Cartoons are always much more interesting than the posters, because they depict much more and give you a better sense of context. This one is a full 1 hour and 14-minute movie. It was directed by Mitsuyo Seiyo, who was ordered to produce this film by the Japanese Naval Ministry. The plot revolves around a few animals that are put in the Japanese military who eventually emerge as generals, which the other animals just gawk over in amazement for their sophistication. What then follows is an invasion on a British fort in which British officials are terrified and surrender some surrounding islands to Japanese rule.
I was saying it's because I have no command over all troops. So I think it impossible to agree to a complete and conditional surrender.
What the heck even is this? This is quite possibly the weirdest thing I've ever watched.
That's propaganda, man. The British are depicted as complete and utter idiots, stammering away and scared to death. Keep in mind, these animals are Japanese soldiers that are forcing British officials to surrender. In the end, these children, or animals, are playing and they land on an outline of North America, obviously showing that the US is the younger generation's target.
I wonder how well that worked out for them.
Another bit of Japan propaganda is this cartoon. That's supposed to be Mickey Mouse. Now, America had animation that's much more refined. We had Looney Tunes, so of course, you'll find many propaganda cartoons. This one's called Tokyo Jokyo.
Now please to observing a rook at listening post. Over here, our honorable aircraft spotter. Now we are showing you fire prevention headquarters. Oh, son of a gun, too late.
So propaganda. Is it effective? Well, yes. You remember the beginning. You just want to jump out of a plane for your country, and that's their goal. It doesn't take a genius to see that these posters would be extremely effective fighting against the Japanese. And these cartoons would have been extremely effective to teach kids the lie that the Japanese were completely idiotic people. Just like how those British were portrayed in the other cartoon, it goes the same way. Propaganda is a product of war, whether it be the type of war that involves bullets, or the type of war that involves a pen. It's a strategy, a way to attack the enemy without setting a finger on the trigger. It's just something we have to accept for what it is, a product of the time. Because of today's more sensitive culture, this type of hyperbole isn't bound to make a comeback. If World War III breaks loose, I wouldn't expect these posters to show up. Hopefully, we won't have to see that happen.